Bibi wins. Benjamin Netanyahu rolls to victory in Israel this past week, and Sarah Palin offers her congratulations. Palin wrote on Facebook, "Congratulations, Prime Minister Netanyahu. Thank you to the good people of Israel for supporting a leader who will stand up and fight for all the free world while other leaders sit down. The heartland of America will sleep better knowing Bibi remains the voice of reason and strength in the beautiful nation of Israel. For when Israel is safe, we are safe." To see any of the governor's posts in their entirety, visit Sarah Palin's Facebook page, follow her on Twitter at Sarah Palin USA, and visit sarahpalinchannel.com.
Now, the Palin Update with Kevin Scholla presents Liberty and Legacy. Here's Tamara Culbert.
Obamagarchy, Obamagarchy, Obamagarchy. It's a term that I've begun using because I was trying to reconcile where we are as a nation, because we're so far out there on our way to tyranny, it's frightening. So an Obamagarchy is the halfway point between tyranny and oligarchy. What's happened is Obama has surrounded himself with all these guys of his same ilk, with this same progressive fantasy. Hey, let's rule the world. We'll confiscate all the money. We'll make all the decisions, and it'll be perfect. This utopia, because we'll be running it and everybody else will be our slaves. The end game is the same as the Greeks, as the Romans, and everybody else who thought that someone who wanted to fundamentally transform their society was a good idea. What happens is all these societies crumbled from within because of overspending and debt. It resulted in the same exact thing, the full collapse of the society from within. Today we've got three branches of government colluding together to keep the status quo and their pockets lined. The American people are struggling to figure out exactly where the money's going. And I want to share a couple reasons why A, America's broke, and B, why the federal government should never, ever have unlimited access to the people's money. We are borrowing billions. Let me rephrase that. We're borrowing trillions of dollars to do things that no government on earth should be paying for, such as $750,000 on a new soccer field for detainees at Guantanamo Bay, millions of dollars to train Chinese prostitutes to drink responsibly. Obama has plans on giving $20 million to help students in Indonesia get master's degrees. And what about the millions to researchers at UC Irvine in California to fund research on video games? I'm not even going to discuss the $650 million plus on the broken Obamacare website. But here's one that I just had to share. This really was the tipping point for me. The Department of Health and Human Services plans on spending $500 million on a program that seeks to solve the problem of why 5-year-olds cannot sit still in kindergarten class. I am not kidding. There is now a heightened sense of urgency among citizens. We must act. And we must act now to save the republic from this growing Obamagarchy. How is it that when our representatives get to Capitol Hill, they not only run out of ideas, but they run out of principles? Thankfully, the American citizens have plenty of solutions. And the challenge for us is getting the elite in D.C. to listen, which I think we've pretty much resolved that it's not going to happen. Thankfully, the founders knew this day would come. That's why they gave us recourse that lets the people save the nation. Citizens working with state legislators have a much more powerful weapon than any Obama phone and pen. The only solution bigger than the growing Obamagarchy and any of the other challenges we face as a nation is Article 5. It is time to stand up, speak up, and show up to implement the most powerful weapon citizens have today to combat the growing federal tyranny. It's called the Constitution. Will you join me? Please go to conventionofstates.com for more, because together we have a solution bigger than the growing Obamagarchy. I'm Tamara Culbert for Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tamara Culbert in Texas. Tune in for more Liberty and Legacy next week. And to learn more about Convention of States, head to conventionofstates.com. Now our weekly commentary, Steel Resolve. Here's Sarah Steelman.
Thanks, Kevin. Once again, President Obama has exposed his true colors by advocating for mandatory voting. His set of principles always relies on government forcing people to do what's best for them because they don't know any better. This is what leads people to question his understanding of the fundamental founding principles that made this the greatest nation in the world. Our Declaration of Independence beautifully proclaimed our God-given rights, and our Constitution restricted the power of government. Living free means that we as individuals have the right to make our own individual decisions, free of government intrusion. Freedom is extinguished when government mandates our decisions for us. Freedom means we can choose to pursue our dreams or choose to do nothing. Freedom means that we can choose to buy health insurance or we can choose to not buy health insurance. Freedom means we each have the right to vote and may vote if we want to, but we can always choose not to vote. The very essence of that elusive term, American exceptionalism, rests on freedom as its foundation. Free to pursue happiness as each of us interprets that word. America is great because of our beliefs that individuals are born free. One of the definitions of totalitarianism is centralized control by an autocratic authority. Obama's reliance and belief in government telling people what to do is absolutely scary. I am reminded of the late, great William F. Buckley's plea. A conservative is a fellow athwart history yelling, "No!" So come on, conservatives, let's make sure Obama hears us yelling. This is Sarah Steelman for Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tune in again next week for another segment of Steel Resolve right here on the Palin Update. The Palin Update, including Liberty and Legacy and Steel Resolve, is on demand and available for download. So just head to mamagrizzlyradio.com, pick the show you want to hear, and you can listen anywhere, anytime. Well, that'll just about do it for this edition of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Visit mamagrizzlyradio.com for continuing coverage of Governor Palin. Also, like Mama Grizzly Radio on Facebook. Follow along on Twitter at Mama Grizz Radio, at Kevin Scholla, at Tamara Culbert, at Sarah_Steelman, and at 3DSTS. And I'm doing some writing for Breitbart News. Go to Breitbart.com and search Kevin Scholla. I want to thank Sarah Steelman, Tamara Culbert, and everyone here at Mama Grizzly Radio. Thanks to Erica Diggs and Skylar Vanel, and thank you for listening today. A special thanks to our sponsor, 3D Security and Training Academy. Visit 3dsta.com. The Palin Update is produced by Lena Anderson, the Andy L. Kramer, and Lori Ann Lewis. Please be sure to join us again next time for another edition of the Palin Update right here on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla. Have a pleasant day.